Welcome to the history. Welcome to the culture. Welcome to community that dreams and achieve. Living in change for better tomorrow. Welcome to the Eunice Malath Show.
Welcome to the Eunice Malath Show. I'm your host, Eunice Malath. As immigrants migrating from Africa to the U.S., it's been a blessing but also a challenge. But in order for us to maintain who we are as Africans, we have to preserve it by having social gatherings that enable us to not only interact with each other, but speak our language, eat our food, as well as dance. Here is a social gathering here in Omaha for our portion of our history. A while back, I had a chance to interview an artist by the name of Master Freck. What struck me about him was that he was not only humble, but he had a lot of wisdom for being such a young man. And here is the interview that we did. Today we have a guest with us here who goes by the name of Master Freck. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yes, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. My real name is, my government name, I go by Perek. That's my name. And Master Freck is my artist name, definitely. And been in the United States for 10 years. I lived in Maryland State, city of Greenbelt. I lived also in Hinesville. And I'm going to college also, doing now music, but still got to proceed the education. So basically that's it.
Oh, that's good. What are you studying in college?
I'm studying air traffic control. Yep, so I'm doing it.
It's vastly different from the music. What made you pursue that area of?
Definitely, it's totally different. Cause I mean, like in Southern Sudan or Sudan in general, like the air traffic field is very terrible. We got crashes all the time, planes crashing and all this thing. So that made me really want to do that, and it's also unique, very unique job. Yes, but yeah, looking forward wanted to do it.
Oh, now what year are you in college?
This is going to be my third year now. So
So after that, you have only one more year left, then you graduate.
yeah, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
What school do you go to?
I go to Howard Community College.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm transferring this year though. Probably go to I got two choices, maybe a home college or either Maryland or something. So
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes. Now, your other name is the Southern Warrior, apart from Mr. Frick. How did you come up with the name Southern Warrior?
yeah, Southern Warrior basically is represent the struggle of what people of South Sudan went through, and I chose that name, because the South is basically the South. I'm from the South, and warriors stand for SPLA soldiers, the citizens, the young, the old, our fathers, our mothers, and who fought for rights and equal rights and justice for all Southern Sudanese people and Sudan in general, basically. Yeah.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Now, you seem to know a lot about what's been happening back home in terms of, the SPLA and stuff.
Yeah.
How did you come about to know about them?
I have people that are involved. My dad is part of, is a president of one of the oldest political parties, which is called SANO. It's well known, and we keep in touch. We talk. He tell me what's going on and what we need to do to help back home and stuff. So I'm always in contact with him, and basically I also read the news and yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, you're a musician at that, and you're specifically a rapper.
Yeah.
What do you talk about in your music?
My music is more about the struggle what people in Southern Sudan went through, and I always try to attach that because that's what it's where I come from, and I grew up there, came out here and started different journey, different life, but I don't want to forget. I like music and I do music. I could be rapping about different things, but I always like to go back to my past and what my people went through, so that in my music, people listen to, they will know that this is what happened in the past, so the next generation can learn from it, people that did not witness it. But so I always continue doing the Southern Warrior music, so it's basically just fun to doing it, fun.
Now, how long have you been doing the music part?
I've been doing it now, let's say, I started recording seriously going to the studios about, 2 years ago. Yeah, but I started freestyling when I was back in high school about 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, and people were telling me, you got skills, man, you got talent, but I never believed in myself. So once I went to the studio and took it serious and did one of my first tracks, and people were feeling it and they like it, and they would it was a lot of support. So that gave me energy to wanting to take it serious and continue on. Yeah.
Yes. Do you think you can sort of spit us a rhyme from way back in the day when you first began rapping?
Definitely.
Okay, now give us some.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm from where the struggle continues. We live and die by the war. It's so much more than the bullets, but it's hard to call it the good life when your father's alcoholic, got nothing in his wallet. As a young kid, I lived all my life in fear, cause I was there, but now I'm here. And Sudan ain't nothing like America, where kids grew up and say they want to be like Mike. Where I'm from, we fight for rights so we can just live our life. Ghetto, it's all I know. Ghetto, it's all I know. Southern Warrior, that's the first.
All right, that's what's up. That's cool. Yes. Now, do you have any music out there that people can listen to?
Yeah, definitely. I got about 5 tracks on MySpace. www.monsterfred, at myspace.com, whatever. You can go on there, and I'm working on my album right now. So I'm gonna create a website, Southern Warrior, so people, all my fans can go in there, listen to my music, or, either just buy a CD, whatever they want. So I'm working on that, definitely. But you can go on MySpace. I got my music up there.
Recently, I had a chance to attend the Bangladesh Independence Day celebration, and learning about their history, which I was not quite familiar with, was really educational. Seeing the struggle that they had gone through and how through all that struggle they're now such a prosperous and wealthy country. And it sort of struck me that as South Sudanese, we have gone through a lot of challenges. And if the people of Bangladesh can go through that and become prosperous, why can't we as South Sudanese think collectively, act collectively, and be able to develop our own country? Now here's one of the speakers talking about the history of Bangladesh.
I am a professor of med school. History is not my expertise, but today I have the opportunity to briefly give you a synopsis of the birth of Bangladesh. So, as you understand, when British left Indian subcontinent, they divided the country into Pakistan and India, and birth of Bangladesh happened quite a while later. The country was born, Pakistan and India was born in 1948, and Bangladesh was born in 1971. During this period of time, we were part of Pakistan. But the separation of India-Pakistan has limited input from what is known as the Bangladeshi community, which is almost 3,000 to 4,000 miles away from the West Pakistan, which is today's Pakistan. Therefore, when the country was divided, when the British India was divided into India and Pakistan, the Bengali community or Bangladeshi had very little to contribute towards our birth. So that lasted a long period of oppression, injustice, subjugate, and deprive of equal rights and fundamental human needs. And basically, those needs are to deal with our culture, language, heritage, spirituality, literature, and music. If you ask any Bangladeshis what is the most important entity for Bangladeshis, by far majority of them will say their culture and their heritage. We are extremely proud nation, not only because we are a free country, but also the fact that we are extremely proud of our culture and heritage, and our music and our literature. They are the integral part of our entity. They are the weaving of our texture. Without that, we cannot breathe. So it was quite evident when we were part of Pakistan that this marriage is not going to last. Now, during that time, USA had a position in favor of the West Pakistan against Bangladesh, partly because of the strategic reason of China. And US position was mostly to deal with, this is a political issue, you can solve the problem in a political way. But you really cannot ask a hungry person to go for hunger strike. That doesn't happen. So we have tried for these several years from 1948 to 1971 to solve the issue politically, and did not work. And exactly what happened in 1971 was we declared ourselves independent on this very day, the 26th of March. In fact, it was 25th of March, and the night of 25th of March. And that 9-month-long war, which gave a new nation, also took a lot from us. It took away 3 million people, death of 3 million people, and rape of 300,000 people, 300,000 women. So that created a tremendous wound in our society. It took us a long time to heal that wound. We probably haven't got over with it yet, but we are still struggling. We are still overcoming that. But no matter what, birth of our country is extremely important to us, and we're here to celebrate our freedom, our dignity. If you strip a people or a person from his or her freedom and dignity, nothing more is more important to them. So we have acquired our freedom and our dignity for a price tag. I mean, the freedom and dignity, you cannot measure it. It doesn't have a price tag like a grocery store in an aisle that you go and pick up something, it says $2.20. Freedom and dignity doesn't have a price tag. You have to acquire that. and we have acquired that in 1971. We are in here.
Manusha, Manusha, abar tora Manusha, 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 abar tora Manusha. Odu karun kalash bedi karmone bangari ha. Odu karun kalash bedi karmone bangari ha. Manusha, Manusha, abar tora Manusha, 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 abar tora Manusha. Shikhane desh bidesher জ্ঞান তবু হারাসনি মানান। সেখানে দেশ বিদেশের জ্ঞান তবু হারাসনি মানান। বাংলা ভাবে পূর্ণ হয়ে সুধন্য বাঙালি হ। বাংলা ভাবে পূর্ণ হয়ে সুধন্য বাঙালি হ। মানুষা, মানুষা, আবার তোরা মানুষা, 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 আবার তোরা মানুষা। করে বাংলা যত গান খেটে বাংলা সেবা গান। করে বাংলা যত গান খেটে বাংলা সেবা গান। বাংলা ভাষায় বলি বলে বাংলা যাচ্ছে নেচে খেলে চলন বাঙালি হ। সম্পূর্ণ বাঙালি হ। বিশ্ব মানব হবে যদি শাশ্বত বাঙালি হ। বিশ্ব মানব হবে যদি শাশ্বত বাঙালি হ। মানুষা, মানুষা, আবার তোরা মানুষা, 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 আবার তোরা মানুষা।
How many of us would be courageous enough to leave our country to pursue our talents? We're not talking education-wise, but just other forms of talent, knowing that our country is stable. I'm sure few people would venture that far to leave their country, in particular their families, to do that. But we have with us here a gentleman by the name of Mr. Gary Williams, also known as Mr. T-Love, who did just that. He left Omaha, went to Japan, where he has lived for almost 2 decades. Here is his amazing story.
Yeah, my name is Gary Williams. I'm AKA T-Love. I'm a world-class international entertainer. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, born and raised. In 1989, I moved to Japan. I embarked upon a solo career after 10 years with the ETC band, where I was the lead singer, the choreographer, the uniforms designer, and get it to fix, and also I wrote all the original songs that we sang. So I really had a wonderful time with them, but I had to move on to a solo career. In '89, I released my first album here in Omaha, Nebraska, and I won Artist of the Year with New Album of the Year, and I also hosted the awards games in 1989, the awards, the Black Music Awards in Omaha. I was the host, the guest host, MC, and after that, put out my first CD. Well, it was albums then. I put out my first album, and we did pretty well. And then I took it to Japan. I got a request to come to Japan, so I went to Japan 1989-90, and there began a solo career in Japan. And I'm back in Omaha now, visiting my mom, who I hadn't seen in 15 years. And it's been a real rush to see all the new talent and all the new faces, you know, the kids that have grown up, and to hear all the stories about how I've touched their lives and their careers. Unbeknownst to me, it's just really heartwarming to know that I had some kind of effect on their lives, and that they really felt me and understand what I was trying to, well, I always pursue to relate to my audience. I want to touch someone. I know somebody came there for the blessing to hear that I deliver. And I have my own style. I call it pork and bean funk. It feeds that party hunger. It's got the right flavor for what you savor when you get into the party and move with the tea lobster. Oh, yes.
You're so sorry.
our program. But don't forget to hit us up at Facebook at the Eunice Malath Show, and also get in contact with us through email at theunicemalathshow@yahoo.com. Would love to hear from you. We look forward to seeing you next week, same time, same place. We hope that you guys have a great week. Bye.
If you believe, you can achieve.